Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. May the Lord bless you and Happy New Year. Can you believe it's been 11 days since we started 2024? Wow. I hope that you've had a great time so far this year and that the Lord has blessed you immensely and that He continues to bless you throughout the year. As you can tell by the title of this video, and if you saw my last video, then you know what this is about. Like the title suggests, I'll be showing you how to turn an old phone into a Bible study and devotional device. We're going to take your old phone and we're going to turn it into a dedicated device to study God's Word. And before I go in to do that, I'll talk a little bit about why I did it and why maybe you want to try it too. Before I get into that, I want to share with you a passage that I found recently. It's in the book of Isaiah, chapter 43. It's right here on the screen, verses 18 and 19, and this is from the New International Reader's Version. I love how this one puts it. And so it says, "Forget the things that happened in the past. Do not keep thinking about them. I am about to do something new. It is beginning to happen even now. Don't you see it coming? I am going to make a way for you to go through the desert. I will make streams of water in the dry and empty land." Wow, that's such an awesome promise and such a blessing that we have a God that is willing to do that for us. I just picture God going before us, clearing up the path, making a way for us to go through. And I think it's so fitting for the start of a new year. Every time we start a new year, it feels like they say change is in the air. And speaking of changes, in the past 2 years, so 2022 and 2023, I went through really big changes, major changes in my life that hit me really, really hard. They were some of the lowest points emotionally in my life. And so through this process of getting over everything that had happened and just processing it and just getting used to my new reality, what was to become my new reality, I realized that I had become addicted to my smartphone and social media. Thankfully, I was not alone. I had Jesus, first and foremost. He is the one constant in my life, and He never leaves me. So I could turn to Him. But I also realized that I was not alone in that this is something that is really common today. If you want to know what I'm talking about, you can go and check out Digital Disconnect by Scott Retzma. It's free on YouTube, and he has a ton of other seminars that talk about this, like Media on the Brain, The Media Mind, and a ton of others. In 2022, by the end of 2022, I realized that, wow, this is happening to me. This is not just something that I read about or heard through a seminar. This is happening to me. And not being a stranger to addictions, I made a commitment to God and to myself that I would not let another addiction take over my life. And so this put me on the path that led me to this project that I've been working on for a little over a year now, which is part of it is what I show in my last video, the tablet that I showed in my last video, and what I'm going to do in this video. And so I began by removing social media of my main phone and just dumbing down my phone, just getting things off my phone that I really didn't need, but they were there and they were distracting me and just sucking up my time. And I got my phone down to just a handful of apps, very simple apps. Like my phone right now just makes phone calls, text messages. It has a note app, has the camera app for photos and videos of my dog, because if you have a pet, that's what you do. If you have a camera, you take pictures and videos of your pet all the time. So, and I have a Bible app, and that's pretty much what my phone does right now. But there was a problem. There were a lot of apps, a lot of resources that I was using for Bible study and in my devotional habit, and I did not want to give those up. But I did not want to have them on my phone because I wanted to break away from my phone. I wanted to be from my phone as far away as possible. I wanted my phone to just be what it's supposed to be, a phone. And so the Lord led me to my junk drawer. In my junk drawer, I had 2 old phones, and so I picked one of those. And I thought, well, I'll use one of these for that purpose. And that's basically how it all started and why it started. And it's now 2024, January 2024, and it's been such a great blessing and such a great help. I don't freak out anymore if I'm walking around the house or walking around the backyard and I notice that my phone is not in my pocket, or I don't feel the need to run to my phone every 5 minutes to check what everyone's doing and if I have any messages or anything like that. And if I have to send an email or do some web searching, or I have to buy something online, I use my computer. And so just without making this any more longer, just trying to keep it short. So that's basically why I did it. And it's not only helped in the sense of combating and avoiding an addiction, but it's also helped in the practical sense, because I don't need to charge my phone all the time. The charge on my phone will last a couple days before I need to charge it again, because I'm not using it constantly. And so if you want to try this out for yourself, just to experience what is to be a little bit more free from your phone and to reap the benefits of delegating tasks among separate devices, which is nothing new if you think about it, because this is how we got by, 15, 20 years ago. I still remember when cell phones didn't even send text messages. And so, I mean, if you want to experience that freedom again, if you think about it and you realize, oh no, I'm addicted to my phone. I can see the signs and you want to try this out, or maybe you're not addicted to your phone, but maybe you just want to try this for fun. So just look through your junk drawer and pull out one of your old phones from last year or 2 years ago. Alright friends, now we are on our phone. This is the phone that we'll be using for the purpose of this video. This is an LG K51 and I think it's from 2019, 2020. I don't know, not sure, but it's a really good phone and it's one that I have laying around that it's not doing anything, so decided to use it for this project. You can use the phone that you have available to you. And remember, this is for the purpose of making a phone, an old phone, that you're not using as your main daily phone, turning it into a dedicated Bible study and devotional device or tool to help you in the study of God's Word and to help you minimize or cut back on the time that you spend on your phone. It helps you save battery on your main phone, so you don't have to charge it all the time, and you know the battery is dead when you really need to use it. It also helps with being able to just grab the device, do what you're gonna do with it, and then put it down. And again, for this purpose, we are not going to be installing any social media on this. Now, you don't have to do it exactly as I am going to do it. You can add the apps that you want. You can just make it your own, fit your needs. If you want this to be just for music streaming, that's fine. Then you can just install your favorite music streaming app, Spotify or Pandora or whatever it is you use, YouTube Music. You can also turn this into something like a kitchen monitor, where you have a dock on your kitchen counter with your favorite recipe apps and maybe your favorite music streaming app, and you can just use it as you cook your favorite recipes and listen to music. I don't know, it's just, there's so many possibilities. You can just make this into a Bible reader and just have your favorite Bible app and nothing else. Let's get straight to it. So probably your phone will look something similar to this. I went ahead and did a factory reset on this phone since I didn't have anything on it anyway, and I was not going to use it for anything else really. This phone has just been laying around for the past year. This was my main phone from late 2021 to late 2022, and then it went on to be my work phone. It was completely dedicated to work. I used to use it as my main phone and my work phone, but then it went to be just for work, and now it's completely purposeless. It's just sitting there waiting to be used for something, and I just like keeping it around because it's a great phone, and also because I can still use it with my SIM card. So if I ever need to use it for whatever reason, my current phone is not working or whatever, I can use it. So I went ahead and did a factory reset, and so this is pretty much what I was greeted with. And then I went ahead and I downloaded and installed all the apps that I normally use for my study of scripture and all the apps that I use related to church and the Bible, and also some alternatives for music playback and music and video streaming. And I'll leave a link in the description to my Google Drive. I made a folder there. I'll leave a link to that folder. Within that folder, there are two separate folders. One it's called Deep Loader, and it has something that we're going to be using later on in the video. I'll talk more about that. But there's a folder called Apps, and in that folder, I copied pretty much every app that you'll see in just a moment, with the exception of just a handful of them. But you can get most of those apps on the Google Play Store. So you can just do a factory reset on the phone that you're going to use. Just back up your data if you have any data and wipe it clean. You don't need to do that, but if you want a fresh, clean start, then you can go ahead and do that. And then download the apps that you want to use. You can use the Google Play Store, you can use APK Mirror. That's a website where you can download the app files and install them manually. They keep them up to date. And if there's an app that you like to use, but the newer updates have removed or added features that you don't like, you kind of want to go back to an older version, then you can look at the catalog of updates that they have in APK Mirror and download the one that you want and install that, and you're good to go. So now after you've downloaded your apps, your favorite apps, the apps that you're going to use, then maybe you'll have something similar to this. And these are the apps that I'm going to be using for the purpose of this phone and this video. And so right here on the top, front and center, is the Niagara launcher, and I left that on that apps folder on my drive, and we'll be using that. But you can also use Microsoft Launcher or Lawnchair as well. That'll work, because these launchers, the Niagara launcher, Microsoft Launcher, they have an option where you can hide unwanted apps. And so, as you can see, the Bible app from YouVersion, Blue Letter Bible, the ESV Bible app. This is an Adventist Study Bible in Spanish, Bible Hub, the Sabbath School Lesson app, a Bible Trivia game. That's an awesome game. I'll have to make a video about that. It's really great. Kindle app. Aptoide is another alternative to the Google Play Store. You don't need to create an account. You just go in, look for the apps that you want, and you download them and install them. And I left that as well in the folder. The Adventist Hymnal, Audible, Spotify, NewPipe. This is an alternative to YouTube. And VMusic, it's an alternative to YouTube Music. And HiBuy Music, it's a music playback app. So let's say you got all your apps and you got the Niagara Launcher app. So we'll just go and open that, and we'll go through its setup, through its thing, just hit agree and continue. So you'll be greeted with this, and so you'll select your favorite apps, and you'll see that you have a bunch of apps on your phone right now. So let's just select our favorite apps. Just go through the list, and let me add Toid as well. Now that you have your favorite apps, as you can see, they're all here. Then you can hit sure and set this as your main or default launcher. There we go. And you can just enable notifications, or you can keep them disabled. Doesn't really matter. Okay, alright. Tidy up your app list, find apps quicker. And so you can hide use apps, and this is what we want to do. So this is the easy way to dedicate your phone or your tablet to this. So you see all the apps right here, and so you can go through the entire list and just hide all of them. Now you've hidden all of your apps. Oh. So if there's any left, like this one, or if you don't want to hide all of them, like I just showed you, you can just hold on the app, just like this. And go to where it says hide app. And there you have it. And as you can see, it doesn't hide your favorites. You can also edit your favorites. You can move them around, set them up by category, like putting all the Bibles together, or just in alphabetical order. Now that's the simplest way to do this. Now if you want, you can take it a step further, and you can go here to the settings, and you can go to the apps section, app info, and you can go through the list of all these apps. And for example, Android Accessibility Suite, you can disable that. Now, if there's an app, you look for an app that calculator. So I can uninstall the calculator app. And so you can go through the entire list and disable and uninstall the apps that you can disable and uninstall. Certain apps you can disable or uninstall, like the contacts, messages, and phone app. But you can just go through the list, and whatever's left over that you cannot disable or uninstall, you can just go to the list, just hold on it, and just hit where it says to hide from the app list. This one says show again because it's hidden from the app list, but you get the idea. So this is the easiest way to do this. Now if you want to remove all of the apps, just uninstall them, and you don't want to hide them, you don't want to disable them, you want to really get them off that phone then stay tuned because we're going to do that. We're going to have to connect our phone to the computer and run a program called Universal Android Debootloader. Alright friends, so here we are inside my Google Drive folder for this project, and as you can see I have here a folder called Apps, folder called Debootloader, and for good measure I put a copy of my 34-week story reading plan. It's a Bible reading plan. Takes you 34 weeks through the Bible, looking at the story portions of Scripture. So I just put that there in case you want to print it out and follow it. I started it on January 1st, and it's been great so far. So check it out. Now, if you go to Debootloader, this is the app that we're going to be using to remove all of those apps from your phone. And here I also added the drivers for Samsung, Motorola, and LG. I added those because those are the phone brands that I own. I have an LG, which is the one that I'm using for this project. I have a Motorola and a Samsung. And so you'll need to install the drivers on your computer so that the Universal Android Debootloader can recognize your phone. And it's pretty simple. You just double click on it and it'll run, it'll install. It's very easy. And the Universal Android Debootloader, same thing. You download it, you double click on it, and it'll run. It won't install in your computer. It's a self-contained app. It'll just run. Now let's say that you downloaded your drivers and the debootloader, and everything is up and running. So now I'm going to show you the next step that we need to take. Alright, so once you have the drivers installed, if you don't have a Motorola or an LG or a Samsung, just look online, do a quick Google search for the drivers for your phone and download them, install them, and you can connect your phone to your computer. Now on your phone side of things, let's go to Settings again, and we're going to scroll all the way down to System, and you'll see here this option below Restart and Reset called Developer Options. That's what we want to have. That's what we want to enable. So to enable that, we're going to go to About Phone, and we're going to go to Software Information. And then we're going to hit a bunch of times on build number, and a message like that is going to pop up. Yours is probably going to say you're a few tabs away from becoming a developer, and then finally you're now a developer if developer options are not enabled on your phone. But since mine is enabled, I didn't need to do that. But we go back to System, and now we can go to Developer Options. Just hit OK. Don't be scared, nothing is going to happen. So make sure that Developer Options is toggled on. And then we scroll down to where it says USB debugging, and make sure that that is toggled on. If once you enable developer options, you cannot find it in this area. You just go back to the settings and just search developer options, and it will show up and it will take you. Mine was there. Mine populated automatically because I had already searched for it, but you can just type developer options and it will show up. Okay friends, so now you have downloaded the Android Deep Loader to your computer. You enabled developer options on your phone. You installed the drivers for your phone on the computer, and you ran the Universal Android Deep Loader, and you should see something like this. So maybe it'll say, you know, finding connected devices, and there we go. And so here you should see the name or model number of your phone. This is mine. This is an LG K51. And as you can see here, we have some drop down menus with categories for the apps, and these are all the apps that the Deep Loader recommends that you uninstall. Now there are reasons why it's recommending you to uninstall all these apps, and the reason is because a lot of these apps are telemetry apps. They are security risks, honestly. If you're concerned about your cybersecurity, if you're concerned about companies collecting your data and spying on you, then you can just go ahead and select all of these. And as you can see, 65, and just hit uninstall selection and just say goodbye to all of those. There is an app that the Deep Loader will uninstall by default, and that is Digital Wellbeing. And I don't want to uninstall this app. The reason why I don't want to uninstall it is because this app controls the blue light filters for the screen, and I don't want to use any third-party app for that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all, but I'm going to look for the Digital Wellbeing app, and I'm going to uncheck it. This is the name of the package for the app. This is how basically the Android operating system names it or sees it in the system. So I unchecked that, and as you can see, the selection is now 64 instead of 65. And you can do that for any app that you want. Let's see if I can find Maps. If you want to use Maps, you don't want to uninstall it, so you just uncheck it. I'm gonna leave it checked because I don't want to use it. But maybe Calendar, you know, you uncheck it. You get the idea. Now I have to tell you, the Deep Loader will not uninstall the messaging, the text messaging app and the dialer or phone app from your phone. It will not do it by default. It won't even let you do it. It's marked as unsafe. So if I do a search here for com.android phone, which is the dialer, as you can see, that's the app that you use to make phone calls. It won't let me even check it. And also the messaging app, it won't, oh yeah, this one will allow me to, but not the phone app. That is strange. Let's see. See the phone app, it won't let me do it. So if you want to remove those, if you want to remove the phone and the messaging app, then we're going to go to settings right there, and we're going to check this box right here that says allow to uninstall packages marked as unsafe, because we know what we're doing, right? So once we do that, we go back here to where it says apps, and now we can check that up. And I'm going to uninstall them. So LGE dot live message. Okay, that's the messaging app. There's no description, but I know it's a messaging app. If you need to know what the names of the apps are, because maybe yours is a Samsung or a Motorola or something, you can just do a quick Google search, or you can go to the OEM category or the carrier category and just go through the list and check to see which ones they are. But the Google search is pretty good. There's a pretty good documentation out there about the package names. There's also an app that you can install from the Google Play Store. It's called Package Viewer, and there it'll tell you, you can open it on your phone and it'll tell you all the apps that aren't installed, and you can just search the app and it'll tell you the package name, and it'll be just a matter of searching it here and uninstalling them. So okay, so now we got 66, a selection of 66 apps to uninstall. So we just hit uninstall selection, and we just look at the countdown of apps. And if you look at your screen on your phone, if you did not hide all the apps, if they're still visible on the screen, you will see them just disappearing one by one. Okay, and there we have it. The only app from the recommended apps to uninstall that is not uninstall is the Digital Wellbeing. So now let's say that you, by mistake, you removed an app. Let's say I removed the Digital Wellbeing app, and I'm like, oh no, I did not want to do that. That's fine. So you just hit restore, and there we go. And it'll be there. If you want, you can restore all the apps. If you ever want to go back to having your phone with all the apps, then you can do that as well. You can just do select all and hit restore selection. I'm not going to do that now. Alright, so now here we are back at our phone, and if we did it right, it should look something like this. And if we go to settings and we go to the apps section, app info, waiting for it to load. Now we will see that Android Auto, Accessibility Suite says not installed, Calendar not installed, Chrome not installed. So now you have a phone that all it does is Bible apps, and Bible related apps. So you can listen to your favorite hymns or your favorite podcasts on Spotify. You can watch or listen to your favorite sermons on YouTube or YouTube Music or wherever. You can search your favorite Bible apps. And so, guys, this is how you turn an old phone to a dedicated Bible study and devotional device. And I hope that you find this helpful and that it's a blessing to you, as it's been for me. It's just been such a great blessing. I can't stress that enough. How I can just pick this up and use it for my study of the Bible and just put it down when I'm done with it and not worry about it, and just grab my phone, make a phone call, send a text message, and then when I'm done I put it down, and that's it, because there's nothing else for me to do with those. And so limiting the things that I can do with my devices has greatly helped me to combat that dependency to always be looking at a screen, to always be on my phone, to be half listening to what's going on and to what people are telling me. And it's made me more aware of my surroundings, and it's made me more awake, it's made me more present, while still being able to enjoy the convenience of all these apps that have greatly blessed me and helped me in my study of God's Word and my walk with God. And so I really hope that this has helped you, or at least you find it interesting, and share it with your friends or family, so they can benefit from it as well if they need to do something like this, or maybe they just want to try it out. Also, you can customize this further. You can remove even more apps and services from the phone, just to make it a little bit more simple. And also you can change the wallpaper, you can change the icons, and make it look more akin to something that you're comfortable with.